Hello, everybody. We are back again with the another session of GRE, and the topic name would here be something which we have seen just before. The topic which we have seen just before was area and perimeter, and now today we are going to discuss something about volume and surface area. As in, I was telling you people that volume and surface area is related with the 3D shapes. Okay, but in case the area and perimeter are related with the 2D shapes. Okay, so what are 2D shapes? What are 3D shapes? What all we will be calling as 3D shapes or 2D shapes? We will be discussing everything about it. Now we'll be discussing about different figures, different objects which may come up with volume and surface area, and even we will be discussing about some problems or maybe just a few questions on the basis of whatever formulas we are going to see, and also we will be doing some practice. Okay, so let's get started. Just a moment. Thank you so very much. So let's get started. Let us not wait for more. The volume and surface area, as in I was telling you people, that it is related with 3D shapes. That is three-dimensional shapes. Now, three-dimensional means what? What exactly comes with three-dimensional? So, three-dimensional means wherein the figure will exist in three axes. One would be x, y, and z. So it will be having three dimensions, three different dimensions. So that would be there in volume and surface area. Let us move a little more ahead and see. The basic concept of volume and surface area is related to solid or hollow bodies, and these bodies occupy the spaces, of course, because volume comes with the shape and even the surface area. So, shape should be occupying or acquiring some space now, and that too in three dimensions. That would be length, breadth, and height. Okay, so now if we'll be talking about wall is again having some length, some breadth, and again some height also. So that is how 3D shapes would be. Okay, now let's move a little more ahead with what exactly is a volume. Now, volume is nothing but the shape occupied by the body, or space occupied by the body, if I could say this. So, yeah, that's nothing but the volume. We will always measure volume in cube units. Now, cube units would be cubic meter, cubic centimeter, or anything. But because volume exists in 3D shapes, okay, and it is having three dimensions, so that we will always be using cubic meter or cubic centimeter or maybe any cubic unit. Okay, so let's move. Now, what is surface area? Now, of course, the shapes, whichever exist with some volume, will have a surface, and that surface will have some area also. Now, what exactly will be the surface area of for what kind of shape? We will decide it later, but please understand that any body which is having some shape and which takes some space or which occupies some space, or we can say the body which acquires some space, will always have a surface also. Now, be it your wall, be it some football or something, it will have a surface. Okay, so that would be there. Now, let's see what exactly does it mean. Okay, surface area of a solid body is the area of all of its surfaces together. Now, surface area is measured in the square unit, like square centimeter, square meter, because it is again the area. Do not forget, whenever area will come, you have to do one thing, that you have to calculate it with the square units. But in case volume is there, you have to use cube units or cubic units. Okay, so let's move. So the very first shape, now we are done with the volume, what exactly is volume and what exactly does surface area means. So now let us move ahead with the very first shape, which we have seen a loads of many times. I mean, lots of many times we have seen that. And you know, that shape, before telling its name, I'll just ask you people that the shape of that the shape of that object looks like square, and it is having six side, and that to six equal sides. And even the angle made by each and every side would be 90-degree. Okay, so that's how it would be. So better, like, if you can guess it, then it is nothing but the cube. Okay. Now, what exactly does a cube means? A cube is a solid body which is having some area, which obviously occupies some area with different length, with equal length, equal breadth, and equal height. Okay, here, as in I was telling you people that all sides will be of equal length. Now, be it a breadth or height or length, everything will be equal in case of cube. Okay, and one more thing, each face of a cube is a square. Each face of a cube is a square. So let's move with the formulas. How to find, now there is a shape and there are length, breadth, and size. Length, breadth, and height. So now cube is there, so we should find the volume of a cube. So what is the volume of a cube? So volume of a cube is nothing but a cube. Now a means the side. Now all the sides will be denoted by a here, and cube of that sides will be volume of the cube. Now lateral surface area of the cube will be 4a square. Total surface area would be 6a square because six sides are there. And diagonal of the cube. Now, even if, because it looks like a square, as in we are saying that each face of a cube is a square, so it has to be there. Diagonal has to be there. And without diagonal, how can you be expecting a figure like a square? So, if at all the diagonal is given, then you have to apply the formula, that is a root 3, wherein a is the side or the edge of cube. Okay, now let's move ahead with the another shape, that is cuboid, which looks like cube, but at times you may find it in the rectangular shape or in some other way. Okay, so let's see what exactly is a cuboid means. Now cuboid is a rectangular solid body which is having six rectangular faces, is called cuboid. Okay, so volume of a cuboid would be b into h, that is base into height. Okay. Volume of a cuboid is base into height. Now, lateral surface area of a cuboid will be equal to 2 into L plus B H. That 2 into length plus breadth into height. Okay. Now, the total surface area of a cuboid will be 2 into L plus LB plus BH plus LH. Is length into breadth, breadth into height, and height into length. Now, diagonal of that cuboid will be equal to root of L square plus B square plus H square. Now, wherein L would be length, B would be breadth, and H would be height. Okay. Now we are supposed to, now as in we have discussed about the cuboid, there are many things which comes in a cuboid format. or maybe which looks like a cuboid or a cube. So let's see what all things are there which looks like a cube or a cuboid. So the very first thing would be a room wherein there are four walls, with the maybe at times with the surfaces and not so equal walls. That is why room we will be calling it. And room will be nothing but a rectangular room which will have four walls, and those walls will be called, we will be calling all those walls as the surfaces. And of course opposite walls have equal area. Now one more thing, it looks like the rectangle. That why? Because opposite sides are equal in this case. So now, of course, a room will have some volume because it may contain some space. It occupies some space, so that volume would be there. So, total, before that, one more thing, that surface area is there, so that total area of the walls would be equal to 2 into length plus breadth by height. 2 into L plus B into H. This is the total area. Now total volume of the room will be equal to L into B into H. That is length into breadth into height. Area of floor or roof will be equal to L into B. L into B is nothing but length into breadth. Okay. Now where L is equal to length, B is equal to breadth, and H is equal to height. Now another shape which comes in the form of cuboid is a box, or just a carton, you can say. So carton will be looking like a box, or maybe we many a times when we get a parcel from Amazon or Flipkart, which is having some huge weight or something, then they pack it in some carton. So that carton is nothing but a box which is made up of cardboard. Okay, so that could be there, or maybe any kind of box which is made up of wooden, which is made up of something else. You can use any kind of box, but always remember a box will also have some volume. It will also have some surface. It will also have some surface area. So, and again, one more thing which it will have is a capacity of a box to hold something inside it, no? So there has to be some capacity. So yeah, let's see. Okay, now the amount that a box can hold or contains the capacity of the box. In fact, the capacity is the internal volume of the box. So surface area of an open box would be 2 into L plus B into H plus L into B. Okay, okay, so yeah, 2 into L plus B, length into breadth, multiplied by H plus L into B. Sorry, this has been mistaken. Just a moment, I'll just rectify this one first. Okay, now we are done with this. Let's move a little more ahead with the capacity of the box. The capacity of a box would be 2 L minus 2T, B minus 2T, and H minus 2T. Whereas T is nothing but the thickness of that box. Thickness of that box. That how thick is the box. Okay. Now volume of the material of the box. One would be internal volume and another would be external volume. So in this case, formula will become BH minus 2T, L minus 2T actually, B minus 2T, and H minus 2T. And that's it. Do not worry, I'll be sharing all these formulas in the Google Classroom in a sheet. If at all you are not noting them down. Cylinder. Now, what exactly is a cylinder? It looks like a circular body, or maybe a hollow pipe, or something like just like a cylinder. Okay, let's see. Cylinder is a solid or hollow body that is formed by keeping circles and equal radii one on other or one on another. One more thing, cylinder can be formed using rectangular sheet also. Just what we need to do is we need to roll that sheet, and that's it. One more thing, cylinder will have three surfaces. What all three surfaces are there? So look at this. The first one would be curved surface. Curved surface is the one which you will be calling it as the height. Second one would be the bottom, and third one would be the top. Okay. So it will, of course, it will not have, um, I mean, it will always have volume. Even if we are saying that curved surface is there, then we are going to find the curved surface area, of course, because it is nothing but a surface. So we are going to find out the surface area. Now, what all formulas are there? Let's see. If the cylinder is solid, then the formulas will be different. And if cylinder is hollow, then of course the formula will differ. The very first formula would be volume of cylinder, which is nothing but area into base into height. Area of base into height. That is pi r square h. Now here pi r square from how or from where does this came? So it's the area of circle. Now area of base, you can of course say that the base would be of made up of circle. That is why we'll be taking it as pi r square h. Now curved surface area. Curved surface area would be perimeter of base and height. Okay, so perimeter of base would be 2 pi r and the height would be h. Here total surface area is equal to curved surface area plus area of both the circle top and bottom surfaces. Now, as in we can see that it would become 2 pi r plus h. 2 pi r into r plus h. That's it. Now, if the cylinder will be hollow, then what will be the formulas? Cylinder are hollow or cylinder is hollow, then volume of hollow cylinder would be outer volume minus inner volume. Now the same thing comes up with the sphere also. Now what another thing comes up with the sphere is nothing but the inner volume and the outer volume of the sphere is hollow sphere. Okay, there is nothing inside the sphere, like a ball, like a tennis ball which is not having nothing inside it. Okay, so that's the thing. Now here the internal volume and outer volume would be outer volume minus into inner volume would be pi h r square minus pi h r square. So pi h will get common, and we will be taking pi h common, and the bracket will have r square minus r square. Now capital R is the radius of outer surface, and r square, sorry, yes, of course. And r square is nothing but the radius of inner surface. Okay, let's go. A curved surface area would be curved surface area of outer surface plus curved surface area of inner surface is equal to 2 pi rh plus 2 pi rh. Okay. Now, here, total surface area of the hollow cylinder would be curved surface area plus area of both from top and bottom surface. That is nothing but 2 pi h bracket r plus r. Okay, so with plus 2 pi, sorry, plus 2 pi r square minus r square. Now this will give me answer of the total surface area of the hollow cylinder if I need to find it off. R, capital R will be the external radius of that base, and small r would be the internal radius of that base. That's what I was telling you people, and h is nothing but the height. Now here We will be solving the questions on the basis of volume and surface area, but together. We are not going to talk about one single shape and to take it for so long, and solving it when we are already having some formulas would be very, I mean, would not be having enough, like, what should I say, um, enough importance, because we are already having formula and we just need to put the formulas uh, in the equations. But here, what are we supposed to solve? Or maybe what are we going to solve in coming time would be the techniques. What would be different techniques which will be have which you people will be having to solve what kind of problems? Various kind of problems would be there, various kind of techniques would be there, and we are going to look at all of them. Okay, so let us get on to the another shape which we were left with. And we were supposed to start with cone. Cone was something which we have seen many a times, like an ice cream cone, like an happy birthday hat, like many times we have seen it. So that cone is having some shape, some size, some area, and again some volume also. Because a cone, in a cone, we just do not put anything, but we actually put something uh, which is something like bhel. I mean, we used to eat bhel, and that cone we used to put that. So it's something which is used to put uh, like just to keep something. So that is why the cone is used. Now let's see what all surface area will it does it have, some volume will it have. So let's see what all are those. Cone is a solid or hollow body with a round base and pointed top. It is formed by the rotation of triangle along any of the sides. Now, volume of that cone would be equal to 1 by 3 base area into height. Now, base area, of course, it would be a round, that means a circle. Now, the base area would be pi r square, and height would be h, and 1 by 3 will remain as it is. Now, slant height, the height of the cone will decide how large is the cone. So, it is nothing but root r square plus h square. Again, radius which the base circle will have. Now, the curved surface area will be pi r l actually. So, pi r l would be equal to pi into r into pi plus r. Sorry, I'm unable to edit that. I don't know why, what exactly has happened, but sorry, I'm unable to edit that. But please understand, the formula is pi r l root l square, sorry, which is equal to pi r into root h square plus r square. Now, total surface area of a cone would be curved surface area, which is there at the bottom, and another one would be um, the slant height, wherein the curved surface area is included. Curved surface area is equal to pi r l plus area of base, which is nothing but pi r square. So that will give you answer as pi r l plus r, where the r is the radius of base, h is the height, and l is the slant height. Now, frustum of cone, when the cone is broken into two different parts, then the frustum of cone or the base of cone will remain as it is. So, it will also have some area and volume. So, let's see what all volume and area will it have. Okay. Now, as in I was telling you, next. Volume of that frustum will be equal to pi r h, sorry, pi h by 3 root r square plus r into r. Now, that small r would be inside area and capital R would be outside radius. Slant height, which a cone may have, will be equal to root of h square plus r square minus r square. Okay, just think about root of r square plus r square. Sorry, h square plus r square minus r square. Okay, so let's move. And curved surface area of that cone or frustum will be equal to pi r plus r. Now total surface area would be pi into r plus r plus r square plus r square, where small r is the radius of top and capital R would be radius of base, wherein the base area will always be more than what the radius of top is, or maybe the area of top is. Slant height, sorry, L is slant height and H is nothing but the height. Now sphere we have seen many a times, as in we have seen some balls, metal balls or something. Those are nothing but the spheres. Okay. So a sphere is a three-dimensional solid figure which is made up of all the points in the space and which lie at a constant distance from a fixed line or fixed point. The constant distance and a fixed point are respectively called as the radius and the center of the sphere. Okay? And in fact, a sphere is like a solid ball. As I was telling you that we all have seen smallest balls ever, okay, which the mechanic used to use in cycles, in the bicycles actually. All right, then let's move. Volume of sphere would be 4 by 3 pi r cube. Total surface area would be 4 pi r square, where radius r would be a radius, and that's it. R would be a radius. A hollow sphere or a spherical shell, where there's a shell and it looks like actually a ball, wherein a ball is having nothing inside it. So that hollow sphere will again have inside and outside um, radiuses. A ball will always have an outside or inside radiuses. Okay. So its both internal and external surface are spherical, and both surfaces have common central point. Volume of a hollow sphere would be 4 by 3 pi r cube minus r. Okay. Internal surface area would be 4 pi r square. External surface area would be 4 pi capital R square. Now, where external radius would be r and internal radius would be I. Hemisphere. Hemisphere is a half part of the sphere. Okay. Now, volume of hemisphere would be 2 by 3 pi r cube. Total surface area would be 3 pi r square. Curved surface area would be 2 pi r square. R would be the radius. Now prism. Prism, many a times we have seen prism, but not always we try calculating the area of prism or something like volume of that prism, or whether it can keep something inside it or not. That kind of things are there with the prism. So let's see what all things are there. It's a solid figure, or maybe I would say it's a solid object whose top and bottom faces are parallel to each other and are identical polygons that are parallel. The faces joining the top and bottom faces are rectangle and are called lateral faces. The distance between base and the top is called height or length of the right prism. Volume of prism would be area of base into height of the prism. Now lateral surface will be perimeter of base plus into height of prism. A total surface would be lateral surface plus 2 times of area of base. Okay, and that's it. You might be thinking that how does this came up, or maybe why didn't she just put the values of a, like as in a or b or c or anything? That is because ki, see, everyone is having their own point of view, and the way they wanted to keep the things, they will be keeping it that way only. If at all, I feel like marking something as A, and you feel like marking that the same thing as F or J. So I'm sorry, but we cannot then cope up. So rather than putting some values for it, I've just put the formulas. A pyramid. Pyramid is a uh, solid polygon, I would say, and you know all the faces of the polygon or the pyramid, are triangles, and the triangle meet at a common point, which is nothing but the vertex. A pyramid is something which is having a base as a regular polygon, that could be a square or a rectangle. The foot of that perpendicular vertex would be perpendicular from the vertex would be coinciding the center of the base is called right pyramid. Now, volume of pyramid will be equal to 1 by 3 area into area of base into height. Now, lateral surface area would be half of perimeter of base into slant height. Total surface area would be lateral surface area plus area of base. Now, we are done with the concepts of pyramid, prism, then cylinders, spheres, uh, any other polygon. We are done with it. But now it's time to get on to the examples which we have. The very first example which we are having is this one. If all the dimensions of a cuboid are increased by 100%, then by what percent does the volume of cuboid increase? One thing which I want you people to understand, that if at all the dimensions are getting increased, then the volume will get increased by the same percentage. Okay, but at times, what should I say, that the property remains at times same, but at times it may get different from what we have seen. Okay, so if all the dimensions are getting increased by 100%, then also x will have its own value, y will have its own value, and z will have its own value. Then how would we be saying that all and each and everything are getting increased by a plus b plus c or what? Okay, so for that reason, there is a formula. A percent increase in volume is equal to x plus y plus z plus xy plus yz plus zx by 100 plus xyz by 100 square. Now, that's nothing but the percentage, because we are finding how much percentage increased in the volume in case of volume. Okay, so the let's put the values of x, y, and z in the equation and find out the answer. So this is how if put x ki jagah pe there would be 100, y it would be again 100, and z will be again 100. Okay. Post that we have done something like we have put down just the values, and that's it. That is it we could do. That's the least actually. Okay. So now after solving, I have got the answer as 300 plus 300 plus 100, which is nothing but 700%. Okay. Now next question. If the size of cubes is a cube is increased by 10%, then how much percent does the volume does it volumes increase? By how much percent? Okay. Now here let us consider x is equal to 10%. Now let's put on the formula, or maybe there is a formula which I'm going to tell you. Please make sure that you'll be noting the formula down, and it is here. X is equal to 10%. Percent increase in volume will be equal to 1 plus x cube, 1 plus x by 100 whole cube is equal, sorry, minus 1 into 100. Okay. So now this will become 1 plus 10 by 100 cube minus 1 into 100. Okay. 10 by 100 would be 1 by 10. So that we have replaced that and found out the value as 33.1% after cross multiplication and each and every value after putting into the equation. Then, okay, now next is this one. If the height of a cylinder is increased by 4% and the radius remains unchanged, then how much percent volume increase? Then by how much percent the volume will increase? Okay, so always remember, in case of cylinder, if one parameter is increasing and another parameter is still the same, then in that case we will just apply the property wherein uh, it will be, if it is increased by a, then we will obviously will obviously increase the volume by a also. Okay, let's move. Now the fourth example. If the radius of a cylinder is increased by 10% and the height remains unchanged, how much or by what percentage does the volume of cylinder will increase? Okay, so look at this. There is a formula. I'm going to tell you that, and it is here. X is equal to 10%. Formula increase. Oh, sorry, percent increase in volume would be equal to 2 into x plus x square by 100. Let us put the values of x into the equation and get the answer. So, answer is 21%. Now next, this is something which is again related with your 2D shape. Sorry, 3D shape. When the radius of a sphere of a sphere is increased by 4%, what percent increase it will takes place in surface area of sphere? Okay. So percentage area which will increase the surface area, so it will become 2 into x to the plus x square by 100. This is the only formula which you have to keep in mind. Let's move. Let us put the values of x into the equation and find out the answer. So this has become 2 into 4 plus 4 square by 100, which is nothing but 8 plus 16 by 100. Now, if at all it is 16 by 100, then we have to do one thing, that uh, we will be doing 0.16. So the answer would be 8.16. Next. So now this question says, if a radius of a cylinder, if in a radius of a cylinder, sorry, if it is decreased by 4%, then while the height is increased by 2%. If the radius is decreasing and the height is increasing, so what will be the effect on the volume? So let us see what is the formula for it. So net volume would be equal to net effect, or net volume would be equal to 2x plus y plus x square plus 2xy by 100 plus x square by y, x square y by 100%. Now let's put on the values into the equation and get the answer. Okay, after putting on to the values, we will get the answer as minus 8 plus 2 plus 16 minus 16 plus by 100 plus 32 by 10,000. Now, after solving this, we will get the answer as minus 5.9968. Now, always remember that minus sign will always show you that you are getting into the loss. Okay, so you are actually getting into the loss. That's it. So let us move ahead with the another example. If in a cylinder both height and radius are increased by 100%, so what is the volume increased by? Sorry. Okay, so area of the a, so just a moment. H is equal to R is equal to 10%. 10% of X or maybe 10% of anything. So if at all, I'll be putting down the formula like percent increase in volume would be equal to 1 plus x by 100 to the power 3 minus 1 into 100%. Okay, that's the right answer for it. And again, one more thing, after solving this equation, what I have got is 700 as the answer. Now remember, here we have to do the cross multiplication and get the answer. Okay, now it is 2 to the power 3 minus 1 into 100 is equal to 8 into 1 multiplied by 100, which is nothing but 8 minus 1 into 100, which is nothing but 700. So 700 is the right answer for it. Now next question. Next question says, by what percent does the volume of cylinder decrease if there is 100% decrease in its radius and the height? Then formula here would be the same. That always remember that if the volume is increasing, then we will always use the plus ka sign, or if it is decreasing, then we will be using minus ka sign. Okay, so percent increase in volume would be 1 plus x by 3 to the power x by 10 to the power 3 minus 1, which is nothing but this one. After putting on to the values, this will, will I get. So the answer has to be minus 100%. Okay, minus 100% is the right answer for this question. Okay. Now, next question. Next question says, when each of the sides of a cube is increased by 20%, then find the area increased in total. Surface area increased in total. So the formula will now become increase in surface area, which is equal to x plus xy by 100%. Now x plus y, again 20 plus 20 plus 400, sorry 200, sorry 400 by 100. Okay, that has to be there. Let us see what will happen the next. After putting on to the values, I'll get 40 plus 40 by 100, 400 by 100, which is nothing but 44, because zeros will get cancelled out. Now here, I believe this is the last example which we are having, or something like that will be there. Okay. Three sides of three cubes are of metal, are 30, 40 and 50 centimeter respectively. Find the side of the new cube formed by melting these cubes together. If we are melting all of the cubes together, then there will be nothing like loss or profit or anything, because we are just melting them and just to form why the new cubes. Okay, look at this one. The formula here will become root of x cube plus cube root of x cube plus y cube plus z cube. After solving this equation, I have got root 216000, which is nothing but 60 centimeter, and that is it. And that is the only thing. While we have used few different formulas, I mean 10 different formulas with 10 different questions, but always remember that these stuff or these formulas are going to help you when the problem is complicated. But if at all the problem is not so complicated, then you can just use the traditional formulas which we were using till now. Okay, but if at all it is having a slight change even, then you have to go for this formula. Okay? So all the very best, and I'll be sharing the practice questions in the Google Classroom, and thank you so very much.